All right, guys. So trade update on the top pairs I had posted last time. So AUD we did enter this trade, and this trade played out to perfection. So if you notice on the daily time frame, we ended up having a break retest of the previous daily higher high structure, which got respected on my 4 hour little zone right here. We marked up. We had resistance, 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 and then we started showing signs of support. So we also had a double bottom. If we go to the 1 hour, on the 1 hour, this was my entry signal. So we had the doji and then we had our bullish engulfing. So for this trade, we went for a 1 to 2. I placed my stops below this wick just to give myself a little bit more room. And good thing I did, because I would have gotten liquidated with this long wick. So that's why my stop loss, I like to give it a little bit more breathing room. 14.6 pips is really good, pretty tight. So yeah, this trade played out really good. Drop down to the lower time frame on the 30-minute. This is actually where I believe I entered. So yeah, right after I got this bullish engulfing, I saw the dragonfly, bullish dragonfly. So I decided to enter right here while this candle was forming. Um, and originally I wanted to target the previous daily high, which would have been this one right here. Now, the only reason that I didn't, and I'm okay with missing out on whatever risk to reward this would have been. I think this would have been like a 1 to 2.5 or a 1 to 2.6. But I was okay with missing out on that trade because, again, this was a strong level of support and resistance. And I just didn't want to get greedy or overexpose myself, over leverage myself. I'm just going to take the win, right? Take I'm here to take my execution and then take my reward, and that's it. So AUD played out really nice. Then for gold, um, gold ended up not playing. It ended up playing out, but it didn't give me my pullback. My TP was supposed to be around here. So we had the inverted left head, right shoulder. We did break the neckline. The only thing is, if I drop down to my 1 hour, the pullback we ended up having it here. So we had a little bullish hammer, but that would have thrown my whole risk to reward off, which would have been a 1 to 1. I like to aim minimum for a 1 to 2. So I didn't bother chasing this trade. This is something I used to do a lot in the past, is I used to get FOMO. So I'd see a good setup and I would immediately want to enter it. Just like, for example, on the 4 hour, see how we had the inverted head and shoulders and we broke the neckline. The old me, I would have entered here at this huge engulfing candle. And what I've realized from trial and error is basically that price would always come back down to give me the pullback, and I'd either end up getting stopped out, or it would just be a fake out, and then it would end up creating a lower low. So for that reason, I always like to just be a little more on the conservative side, especially with these markets that have been pretty sporadic lately. I like to wait for that little extra confirmation. Um, Trade left. I don't mind. At the end of the day, I'm still, happy with the fact that I did, predict it. It did end up playing out, so that's a good sign to me. That's still a win in my book. I don't care to execute every trade. Like I said, I don't want to overexpose myself, and this is just more than anything my psychology, which is something I've been really working extra hard on. So yeah, just being more patient, waiting for my confirmations, not chasing the trades, not over leveraging. So on this trade for AUD I risked 2% on my 10K funded account, and yeah, I'm up 400 right now because I believe I took a trade on the last week of December, which I had shorted gold and I got greedy with gold. Pretty sure. Yeah, you can see right here. So on the 30-minute, I mean on the 15-minute, I ended up shorting gold. And instead of aiming for the wick down here, I believe I entered on the 5 minute actually. Yeah, I entered on the 5 minute. So instead of aiming for this zone over here, or I believe it was this wick right here, I got greedy, put it all the way down here to where I believe price was gonna end up heading either way, which it did, but as you can see, it took us out and then it had to push. So yeah, that brought my account down to like 9,700 around there, and well, yeah, we're back up to like 10,400. So risk management is on point, I guess you could say. So yeah, CAD JPY. I'm still interested in this trade. Obviously, I haven't executed it yet, but I want to wait for the 4 hour to actually pull back to this area of interest and give me a nice retest so I can have a good entry. So the 1 hour, if you notice, we did create a lower low and we did have the pullback, but if I would have entered here, it just wouldn't have been. It's 77 pips with a stop loss. I'd rather just not chase it, and I would rather come back to this area. So I'm gonna put a little alarm, and if it pulls back, we'll monitor it and see what happens. Euro GBP, this trade played out amazing. I would have loved to enter it, but I was asleep when it ended up having the push. So yeah, man, this trade just tanked straight to take profit. So yeah, if you notice on the 4 hour, we had a little left head, right shoulder. On the daily time frame, we broke below this strong level of support and resistance. We ended up getting a daily rejection from this level. We had the push on the 4 hour right here, this bearish engulfing. Same thing I was explaining earlier. I could have gotten in here and had my stops above, but I was looking for a better entry. And yeah, I would have most definitely entered. I would say like right here. And then my stops right above these wicks from my previous lower high on the 1 hour. But like I said, I was asleep. This would have been an easy 1 to 2.6, but it's all good. Again, it's still a win because we didn't execute the trade, we missed it, but we still predicted it. So that's still showing me that I'm in sync with the market and that the trades are playing out as I'm seeing it and predicting it. GBP JPY, we completely avoided this loss. So remember, I had said we were consolidating. I wanted to see a break and a retest from the zone. You notice we completely ignored that and it decided to just take off. And this is what happens with counter trend trades. This is why I don't like to risk as much as I would on a trade that gives me more confluence. Like remember, you want to trade with the trend. In this case, we were trading against the trend. If I would have entered this trade for whatever reason, let's say right at the first shift of structures. So let's say right here, oh, we broke, we created a new low, strong bearish momentum. And oh, right here, you saw a little doji and you would have entered, you would have just completely gotten stopped out. So that's why I really like to be extra patient and wait for my breaks and retest. So yeah, we avoided this loss. GBP same thing, avoided this loss. So I was waiting for price to close below this daily structure. So we could have a shift of structure. So this was my higher low, higher high, and we never body closed below. So we avoided this loss. I would only be interested in this trade again if we break below and retest. That would give us a left head and a right shoulder. So yeah, as of right now, I'm not interested in this trade. USD CAD, um, wasn't interested either. We never broke below the zone. I was waiting to break below this area right here because this is where price was at the time, and it just ended up taking off. So we never took that trade. Euro USD, same thing. Yes, we're having a rejection from the EMA, but we broke structure again. So it looks like we're gonna come back above this area, probably mess around for a little bit, then give us a break and retest and to the downside. Again, this is if you notice on the daily time frame, the reason that I was looking for sells is because if you notice this long wick, when I was looking at it, it was a body. So that's why you need to wait for a body closure for you to be able to then make your decision if you want to execute or not, or to confirm your bias. So in this case, we would have just completely gotten faked out. And if you notice, we never broke structure, so we're technically still on an uptrend. Now this trade is setting up for a sell because I still believe we could fill this wick. We have a left head and then potential right shoulder could be forming now. Again, I would have to wait for an actual break and a retest from this daily structure point. So as of right now, I'm also not interested in this trade, but I will set an alarm just to let me know that we are shifting structure. And yep, that's my trade playout. So this was a win. And then the other trades that ended up playing out, but we never got into. So yep, see you guys on the next chart breakdown, and we'll see how it goes.